What do you love? What do you love about music? Well, to start with, everything. And that's what I was watching the other night. I was watching a movie. It's called Almost Famous. And I really loved that era because that's where I started. I was playing in bands, and so I can relate a lot to what they're talking about there. But the whole idea of just asking that question is something that really resonates with me because I love everything about music. And as time has gone on, I no longer play in noisy bands. And it's not that I don't like it, it's just that things change in your life. And as they change, you start doing other types of music. You're still a musician because a musician is only a musician if he plays music. And so now I'm doing orchestration, and I really love it. I really love doing that. I love being able to have a full orchestra underneath my fingertips, and so then that way I could hear everything. It's just, to me, it's just mind-blowing, just simply mind-blowing. And every once in a while, you need to get out of the studio. And here I am, I'm outside just walking about, and it gives me inspiration. And that's what we need from time to time. We just need a little bit of inspiration. Get out into the wilderness, into the wild, and you'll just love. Like many of you probably go on different musicians' boards and they have different subjects. And one that always comes up is legato. People just obsess about it, whether it is a fingered legato, it's a slurred legato. Really, you start asking yourself, what is legato? Well, it's simply just notes that are connected. La, la, and then going ahead and hearing those notes differently. Instead of just hearing like quarter notes, be going ah, 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 ah. The legato would go ah. And all of these things, when you start listening to your libraries, you start noticing all the nuances about them, how all the different articulations sound. And the articulations is what really allows you to produce music, what you hear in your head. The more articulations that you have, the more that you're able to produce. What I mean by that, if you have a library that only has one short, then you're not able to make certain types of music because the music, it constrains you. So when you're looking at different types of libraries, especially look at shorts and start saying to yourself, all right, how do I have this library? Does it have multiple shorts? The more shorts it has, the better that your music is going to sound. And start using all of these different articulations. Another item that comes up in these forums is quantization. What is it? Well, let's say that you're playing to a click track. And when you're playing to a click track, you finish it up and you hit quantization. Well, what that does is it takes your notes and it puts it to a grid. So then this way, you start asking yourself, why would somebody want that? Well, the benefit of that is simply this. If you're putting on track upon track upon track, and if you're not quantizing your notes, then what's going to end up happening is everything going to sound messy and sloppy. You don't want that. You want things to sound professional. And that's where the quantization comes into play. It makes your music sound professional. Now, if you're only putting down one track, it's not necessary. Unless, of course, an orchestra or a real person is going to be playing this. Because then they can't make heads or tails out of your music. So then it's very, very important. I love Star Trek, the original series. I love the stories, I love the adventure and everything that they go through. And as I was listening, or I was watching it the other day, and I was starting to listen to it, and I was going, that scoring that they're doing is very unique. There was no string players. So I started learning more about it because there were multiple composers who would then compose for each season. And then I found out why there wasn't any string players. And the reason was because of cost. So Desilu said, no, we're not going to have that, because they were the production company. So instead, the composers were given only a certain palette to work with. Well, that's what it's like when we have certain libraries, because not every library has everything in it. They may only have certain components. So try this. Try going ahead using one library for whatever you're doing, whatever piece of music, and you're going to find that you're going to get a lot of mileage out of learning that library with its own limitations. Inspiration. Inspiration for your music. Where do you get it from? Well, you can get it from all kinds of sources. You get it from movies, you get it from reading a book, you can get it from looking at art. More importantly, you get it from just simply living your life. Start thinking about what happened when you were a child. What happened to you last week? When I listen to Beethoven, I know what type of personality he has, because it's reflective of what I'm hearing. Well, your music should be the exact same way. Good or bad personality, that should reflect upon what you hear. And the more and more you do that, the more real that your music will be. Because the most important thing about music, to me, is honesty. If you're honest about what you're doing, that's going to show. And if it shows, it's going to show to other folks. And it's going to actually have meaning. Because we, as artists, we're all about having meaning in life. And our music is that meaning of life. Sound reflection, reverberation. These are huge elements in making orchestral mock-ups and using virtual instruments. Lately, I've been mesmerized by Schubert's Death and the Maiden. I just been listening to it in all different versions, and when I've been listening to it, sometimes it's symphonic strings, sometimes it's a quartet, and I'm listening to the way that the reflections of the sounds, and then I'm imitating those. I'm working on imitating those in my own music. This is so helpful because it gives us such realism. Every little bit makes a huge difference to what you do. Bob Ross. I love this guy. I don't know if you remember him. He was on PBS and he was a painter. He would start off his show with a blank canvas, and then slowly but surely, as he kept on talking, you'd start seeing trees emerges, you would see then water, you'd see all kinds of things. Before you knew it, it was all done and it was beautiful. So I was thinking, if this was something that you'd like to see musically, let me know in the comments below. And if so, I'll do a video just like that. Go through the whole process. 700. I finally hit subscriber 700. And I want to thank you, because it's been a real joy making these videos. I do about a video a month or so, and sharing everything that I know with you. So thank you for subscribing. And if you have something that you'd want to hear, let me know, and then I'd like to make that happen. Once again, thank you and for being with me on this walk. I may do some more of these, but yes, take care, God bless, and practice, practice, practice. Take care. Bye-bye.